Welcome to episode 12 of Resilience Unscripted. Today we have the one and only Richie Evans here. Hi, Richie.
Hi.
The Wolf.
The
You go by
Wolf.
the Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My close friends call me that.
Well, you know what? Now the whole world knows, so.
Yeah, man. Actually, the Marines that I served with dubbed me that for the unit that I was in.
Okay.
Some stuff that happened, but it was their nickname. It carried on, and then so when I was working in California, I worked with nonviolent drug offenders and gang members, and somebody had called me that, and it just
It
went
just
like
stopped.
wildfire. So I've been carrying it, and it's a great brand.
It is a really great brand. I mean, that's you.
And it's a thing to bring people in, like little wolf cubs, like you're part of my pack.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a good thing to bring, hey, you're with me.
It's authentic, too.
Yeah.
There's not many people besides the Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
With that nickname.
I'm the Wolf of Wall Street.
You are.
Yeah. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
And I still love you, but the New York, are you a Yankees fan? I love it though, because she was like rebellious.
I have been wearing a Yankees hat since probably 2020. I don't think I'll ever stop. I think it's like part of me now.
Yeah.
People say I have a New York accent, and it comes out here and there, and we don't know why. I've never been to New York. I have friends there that like will come here or that I'll talk to. Maybe it just like rubbed off onto me.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to do with New York.
I feel like it's your rebellious attitude, and you're like, yeah, fuck your team, I'm with New York. That's all. Like, I feel right.
Well, I
Yeah,
do.
that's fair.
Listen, I do have some Boston hats, but all right, if I don't have one on today, I'm probably. I have the ace on my shirt, so I didn't want to wear like a logo here, and then like the Yeezys and be like just logoed up. I just wanted to keep it a little simple today, but there's no like specific reason. It's just a part of me now.
Yeah, to rebel. She don't even know
I don't even know why.
Yeah. I love it though.
Was that like your top question for me today?
No, I got a million, but I want to dominate. I'll dominate the conversation.
All right, go ahead. I want to hear.
So what was your passion towards helping? And obviously this is a show we're living for women. What was that?
So my dad will be 33 years clean in January. The rest of our family has passed away from addiction on his side. Thank you. My mom's side never really had an addiction problem, but when they drank, they were belligerent. But it wasn't an everyday thing. You know, it was just like if they had parties and stuff, those boys were wild. So it was a little different than my dad's side. My dad got clean before I was born, but obviously being a new dad in early recovery, and I still consider, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the first 5 to 10 is pretty early, especially when you're starting and you have a lifetime ahead of you. That's early. And he was the best dad that he could possibly be, with working 2 jobs, trying to provide for his family. He would basically go to work early in the morning before I'd wake up, and he would come home sometimes when I was already in bed. So he was doing the right things, trying to get his life together. And obviously he has, because he's got 33 years. But seeing my uncles and my aunt not be able to do that, and having different memories with them, and like going to my grandmother's house, and it was a very different dynamic, between both grandparents. I would see my grandmother, who was a Capone, that was my mother's family, and that was, fine and dandy, and everything was prim and proper, nice house and everything. She lived like she was Elizabeth Taylor, like all glamorous and like had the marble and everything.
I love this.
But my other grandmother had how they say 2-decker, triple-decker in East Boston. She had a 2-decker, and it had a different lifestyle, and unfortunately all 3 of her children fell into the path of crime and drugs and alcohol, and who was in jail, who was on the run, like things like that. And seeing the dynamic of how my mom's side was considered normal for a child to see, and then going to my other grandmother's on my dad's side was like, don't go in that room, don't touch that, like stay right here type of behavior. I started to pick up from an early age that something was different, and it wasn't 100% normal. It was normal, like grandma's cooking Sunday dinner, but you can't go in the living room without somebody. And I think the main focus of you can't go into certain rooms was there was things in those rooms that I could have found that would hurt me. So they kind of kept me sheltered from certain parts of the house. But I will say that my uncle that took care of my grandmother did the best that he could despite his addiction. He did everything he could to take care of her. She was deaf, she was blind, and she was very feeble towards her last days, and he was devoted, But that's where my passion comes from, is my family. And I have friends that have passed away too. I have friends that are still struggling, and the ones that are still struggling, when they're ready to accept help, they will.
Yeah.
But the ones that have passed, we had a house in Lynn that was named after Kara Coney, which was a family friend of ours, and we go way back with generations of the family, and I wanted to do that in memory of her. When this house opened, it's in memory of my Aunt Kathy on my dad's side. So everything, kind of everything that we've done has happened for a reason.
Yeah.
It falls into place for a reason, and I just want to keep doing what I can.
Yeah. So I believe this strongly, and I don't know if this applies to you, but anybody, so I'm afflicted, there's non-afflicted, but we work in the field together of service, and we get shoulder to shoulder, and anybody that's willing to get shoulder to shoulder with me in this fight, is afflicted or not, you all me, you all one of me. It doesn't, I don't go, oh, you are what makes the difference? If we're in the fire and line of life together, we're with me.
Yeah.
So I never identify that. Lived experience is important. It's very important, but what's more important is we unify we together.
Well, I like that, because a lot of people try to say like non-addict addict, right? So like you don't know what that person's going through because you didn't go through it, but it's lived experience. I went through it just vicariously through someone else, basically. Not vicariously in a good way. Like, I watched them suffer.
And what's the common thing, right? So this is what sometimes in the recovery community, well, what's the common thing? I could tell right now you got trauma and I got trauma.
Oh, definitely.
So if you got the same experience that I have,
trauma.
Then if you have the same experience I have, Marissa, then you are me and I am you.
Exactly.
And that's why I don't let's push them out of this. So what are we doing? Isn't that the same thing this is the cycle where we're fixing trauma with trauma.
We should be working together, not pushing people out.
That's why I appreciate you guys having me, and I think
absolutely.
I can push whatever agenda you have.
Well, I feel like you're authentic, and there's a lot of people that work in the industry that are authentic, and there's a lot of people, I'm gonna say this very respectfully, who aren't, and do things for many different reasons, and function the way they do for different reasons, and that's between them and God why.
Okay.
But you do things with your head held high, number one. You do it to the best of your ability, and you back what you do. When you say you're going to help somebody, you help somebody. It's not a front. It's not a facade. Like, you are authentic. And that's why I appreciate you coming on and being here today to do this interview with me, because it's raw, authentic Richie. It's not a facade. And a lot of people will be like, yeah, I want to do a podcast, and it's all whitewashed.
Yeah.
This is you.
Okay. Which is spirit animal? I could guess, but I don't know.
Take a guess.
Yeah, I could say a couple things. It'll sound corny though. I could say an alpha female wolf, but I would rather say like a panther, like a black panther.
I feel like between a lion and a panther.
Oh, okay.
It's just something strong, because I've gone through a hell of a lot in my life.
So the panthers are they're very independent, and they're like, yeah, I'm just a panther over here.
I am. I kind of march to my own beat.
Yeah.
I don't fall in line with anything.
Lions running in their tribe and their pack too, but I could see you kind of taking, for obvious reasons. I think you probably had to grow up early, and then what comes with that, a whole bunch of trauma, a whole bunch of fighting, a whole bunch of breath to breath, a whole bunch of
I didn't get into that until my 20s.
Oh, no.
I lived a very quiet life. I was born and raised in Winthrop. Families all from East Boston. For some reason, they all migrated over the bridge to go to Winthrop. I have no idea.
They migrated, yeah.
I don't know. They just all uprooted and went across the little bridge and was like, hey.
Italy migrated to East Boston to Winthrop?
I guess so. I mean, my family just came from Italy. They got off the boat. I think the boat was in New York. Is that how it goes? They went to New York and then they came to Boston.
Ellis Island.
Yeah. And then they just ended up in East Boston, and both sides of the family come from East Boston. And then they just, I don't know, they liked Winthrop, which I ended up being born and raised there for 21 years. And I lived a very, I'll say normal life. Like I said, my dad wasn't really around because he worked. But when he could be around, he was to the best of his own ability. My dad didn't really do the meetings when I was younger. He did a lot of his recovery early on with Salvation Army, Meridian House, things like that. Yeah. Right when it was
gangster back then too.
Yeah, well, he told me Meridian House was very hard, and he kind of walked out and walked to the court and said, "Send me somewhere else," because that counselor made that guy cry, and I'm not going to be next. That was his story.
I feel adequate about the boat thing because they're like, my family came over right off the boat. I'm like, Jesus, my grandmother took a plane. I don't know what she took
a plane.
She took a plane, yeah. Wow, yeah.
And where did it land? At Logan?
This was like. Not necessarily. This was like a few generations afterwards, but I'm like, damn, I don't know. I'm like, what did your grandmother come here on? I'm like, I don't know, probably fucking, TWA, I think.
Oh, my grandmother was born in East Boston, but I think it was her mother that came on the boat.
Gotcha.
I don't know. This is going back too far for me. Like, I don't really.
Did they have Entenmann's back then? They probably made the bait.
Listen, tell everybody what you said, though.
Entenmann. So, can I tell them the quick story?
Tell them, go ahead.
So, when we have a time, did you guys have a time? So, the Italians would have a time. If you were Italian, or even if you weren't, we'd have friends, family over, and then my mother would say, go to Demoulas, Market Basket, and go get the Entenmann, get the pound cake. Go get the chocolate chippies. We're going to come over. We're going to have a time. And the family's going to come over. Now, if you were outside this house listening, you would think we were murdering each other. You'd think we were killing each other. But if you were inside, it was a whole lot of love and a whole lot of fun stories. And then on the way out, my mother would say, all right, Richard, walk. Because we lived in Greco Terrace.
Okay.
Across from, that would be Centopios.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bremen Street in East Boston. Then we migrated to Chelsea. My mother's like, we're moving.
So you went over that bridge?
And we went over that bridge, right? But on the way out, my mother would say, all right, make sure you walk them home. And make sure they get home safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really been my thing coming back. Get as many, wolf cubs. All wolf cubs matter. I got a million of these, all wolf cubs matter, and let's walk them all home safe. And we're all walking each other home, if we're being honest. You're walking me home right now, and, hopefully we can continue.
Let's walk someone home.
Yeah, I think so.
I think just hearing people's stories, and we'll get into that. I want to hear your questions first.
Yeah.
I like this. No one really asked me questions.
Yeah, I love it.
So I want to hear your questions, and we're going to get into your story.
Yeah. Well, I want to say something. I'm just really proud of you in the sense of, like, it's brave to...
Thank you.
I came back from marriage, so I was working on myself in the VA, of my mental health. I was in recovery. I had some time in recovery. Thought I was a pro, but definitely not. But,
everyone's in one.
Right. I thought, I guess it was more important than I really was, because I forgot who the giver of the gift was. Right. I thought I was the higher power. I thought I had a God complex, and I've had a few before, but I wasn't taking care of my mental health. I lost everything, and I didn't have a voice. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm like, yeah, I'm Richie the Marine. I'm Richie from Chelsea. I'm Richie Evans from the Evans clan. Why would I ever say I'm dying on the inside? I'm tired. I want to say to people like, Richie, how are you doing? And I wanted to be like, I need help. But instead, I'm like, fine,
yeah,
I got this.
I do the same thing.
I am. But so I went down, when God shows up and you find out you're not the God that you think you are. He brought me to my knees, and I'm always be grateful for that, because there's no other people. Like, the longest journeys from my head to my heart. You know how you get there? Through your knees, and I think I was brought to my knees, and I needed to be. I don't surrender. I was forced to take care of my mental health, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that what I wanted to happen to me didn't happen to me. I would have missed out on this. I would have missed out on my son. I would have missed out on another shot at this apple. But
we think that that's probably the best thing at the time. Yeah. And then when we get past it and we're 6 months to a year past it, it's like, damn, thank God.
Hindsight. I hate being that's why we get in the moment. I hate hindsight. I'm like, damn, why can't I just... So it's good to be present with you. But you said that to say this. Like, I can really appreciate and respect. Like, my mission is your mission. Like, we are in this together. It's so brave to go, hey, I'm fighting for mental health, fighting for my people. It's brave. And you do that, you get on that. And I've been kind of... on that saying, that's my fight right now. Mental health, recovery advocate. I'm I think, look, this is something that needs to be said too, is the United States Marine, and I love our first responders and I love our veterans, but only the great women of this nation could give birth to the warriors, first responders that defend this nation. I just think we need to protect our women a little bit better than we treat them right now. Plus, my mother would kill me. Anyways, my mother would absolutely slap in the face. My mother was nice with her hands. And the slipper, you ever get the slipper?
I was going to ask if you got the broom.
The broom, the slipper, the wooden spoon.
Yep.
My grandmother would fake hit me with the spoon. spatulas, all that. He's taking this on my mother's flip flop. She'd hit me anywhere in the house. I could
The paint stirrer, the Home Depot paint stirrer, had all of our names written on the back of it.
Yeah.
Not that our parents were abusive, but sometimes you gotta go a good whack when the kids aren't listening. Listen, your parenting style is your parenting style.
She had notches in it. Like, yep, got you this time. Dude, and then one time, I know how I knew it was grew up nurse. I grew up nurse already. My mother hit me, and then she was like, "Ow!" And I'm like, "Hey, see, God punished you."
Yeah, see, God did punish her.
Good times.
That's how she knew. She was like, "Can't keep doing this."
Yeah. Where did you? I'm warming up to a talk, but where did you go to school?
I went to Winthrop High. That lasted for, I want to say, long story short, I was homeschooled a lot because I had like health problems growing up. But I did go to Winthrop Middle School. I went to Winthrop High School, and I actually did not graduate. I got a GED because with all the chaos that I caused as a kid, typical like in and out of school, show up when I feel like it, walk out the back door, come back 2:30 and say I was there all day type of shit. Um, I want to say I dropped out in my second or third year of high school, got my GED a month after I left and never looked back. But I did run into somebody who was my guidance counselor who, I'll tell you, she knew I went through hell. And she just ran an event in Winthrop this past week. Yeah, well. She ran one last year too, and we talked about it a little bit then. But this year she said to me, I'm really proud of you. And I said, thank you, because I think everybody in Winthrop school systems was like, this girl is not going to go anywhere. Like, she's not going to do anything good with her life. She's going to be out probably on the street doing whatever. Like, who knows what she's going to do? Yeah. I proved everybody wrong. I didn't think I was going to make it this far in life because I had severe anxiety. I still have severe anxiety to this day, crippling anxiety. The depression, PTSD, stuff like that. But my anxiety was so bad that for some reason I couldn't stand to be in school. Yeah. So they were probably like, well, she can't be in school for 8 hours a day. What the hell is she? What is she going to do when she's 18? Kept working, was working various different jobs, dealerships, offices, opened up my first business, which was a lash company. Mm-hmm. We had cosmetics all throughout COVID that I was selling online, partnered with somebody who was on a reality TV show that did hair and makeup. Did that up until 2024. Closed that company and I got into this industry in 2022 and I've never looked back. It's just something that I feel I love hair and makeup, and I thought I wanted to be a hairdresser. Yeah. It doesn't give you the same rewarding feeling as helping somebody get their kids back, get their life together, find a job. Like, it doesn't do that for you. You make them look good for the time being. They walk out the door, and then it's over. Like, yeah, next appointment, see you later. You want to see people grow. Yeah. So, yeah.
Can I say a couple of things to you, though?
Sure.
It's going to be, it's a little, I just want to warn you, it might be a little emotional, but I mean this from the bottom.
They make me cry? Am I going to cry?
I don't know. I don't know. I might cry. I want to say from the bottom of my soul, I'm sorry whatever happened to you.
Thank you.
To make you the woman you are today. I'm sorry that had to happen to you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your hair, and I don't care. See, PTSD, manic depressive, severe. Your heart obviously works just fine.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's not going to make me cry. I thought it was going to be much worse than that.
No, I wouldn't do it, but you never know.
I really appreciate it because it took a lot out of me. I would have never thought I could sit on camera without a filter because, like, I always am like, I gotta fix my face. Like, I gotta face tune myself, but, like, I'm getting more comfortable with me. Yeah. I don't think I would have thought to ever do this 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
You're talking about mental health. That's
all that's great. Because you don't know how people are going to take it. People could take what you're saying and be like totally opposite to what you're trying to say, which obviously happens a lot. People twist my words a lot. But, especially with working in a wide variety of like social media where this gets posted, we've had all different types of input, positive, negative, out in left field. Like, you don't know how someone's going to take it. And mental health is such a huge, wide range topic. Yeah. It can go right or it can go left. Yeah. Actually, right or left. But I just keep doing it.
So I was warming up to this. So, and actually, I think it's a more personal question. Like, so I've been, I've hurt a lot of people by not taking care of myself. and it pushed a lot of people away. So I've been celibate and abstinent for like a year and a half. But also, this is the brave, all across the board, brave of us to do. Um, More you, because I think as a female it takes a lot, but um, romantically, you put that out there. It's like, who wants to get involved? And I'm okay with
Yeah,
that because
no.
I'm working on me. But it's also like, yeah, yeah. This is what you see. And
What you
guess
see is
what?
what you get.
Yeah,
That's me. And if you can't accept the fact that I'm a bundle of nerves, I have to like pace 25 times before I leave the house to go somewhere. Like, this is me and I'm a work in progress. If you don't like that, then bye. See you later.
right. Yeah, that's kind of been my, I haven't. I'm just more nervous and not. I'm a handsome devil,
Do you think
obviously,
that
but
people, are you trying to say like you think people look at you differently because you put that out there?
no, it happens. You judge. It's just a human thing. But I think more often than not, I'm the one that's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to hurt. I have that to work on. I'm still working on that. Just because a lot of people think I think I'm human. Too. I'm a lot of things, but I'm a good human being. Don't get me wrong. When you're like, hey, I got I had some traumatic things like brain trauma, like TBI from being in the military, like a lot of concussions. That's just from my home. Yeah. Never mind the streets. I grew up in Chelsea. Never mind, it was downrange in the Middle East. Right. So it's like my brain just doesn't make certain chemicals. I need the medication. I got PTSD, TB. Right. I got a lot of stuff. So sometimes it's like, yeah, I know I'm a handsome devil, but sometimes women are like, and I'm more like, never. You don't want. I don't come over here, man. Plus, if you ain't ready to start a family, have a potbelly pig, some dogs, like if you ain't serious, like I could do whatever I want. I don't need sex as like Mina. I want something.
You want like a real authentic relationship.
Yeah, but it's been lonely. Like it's been lonely. I'm okay with that.
Lonely at the top.
Yeah, it's been lonely, but I'm like, I like it when you learn to like love yourself and be in love. And I'm still working on that. But when you learn to love yourself, it's kind of like and then kind of all the stuff too. I think because of the wolf pack mentality, I think a lot of two things can happen. I'm not the person that like I've made a whole life out of saying get the fuck away from me visually, aesthetically, and then personally. But really, I just want a hug. But until you get to know me, you wouldn't know that. Yeah. So ultimately, everything about me is like
we build hard exteriors, I think, and it takes people to knock down the wall to like for us to let them in. Yeah. They have to prove to us. I think that's the way I was always raised was let people prove to you why they should be in your life. Yeah. And I walk around not. I've been told you have resting bitch face, and I probably do. Like I probably walk around like with this look on my face, but I'm a genuinely nice person, and I don't do things to people unless it's like well deserved. You know what I mean? Like I don't just go around being a bitch. If I'm a bitch to you for a reason, then it's for a reason. But I'm not that type of person to be like, hi, oh my god, like let everybody in. Like I can't do that. I can't fake the phony shit.
I like that about you though. I like people who are non-conformist. It's like, cause you definitely weren't a cheerleader. Can I step out on some? She wasn't, right?
No.
How long have you guys known each other?
Oh, 2 months now.
That's a lie.
Oh no, I did
That's
fly.
A goddamn lie.
About like 5 now, maybe something like that.
It's about 5 months.
Yeah.
But no, I was no cheerleader.
What type of music do you listen to?
Rap. Hip hop, rap, very little country. I was dating somebody that was listening to country and he was driving my car, and I was like, turn that shit off. Like, unless it's Morgan Wallen, I don't want to hear it. Like, get that shit off my radio. And he was like, he would not let me use the aux cord, well, the USB cord, to play the music. He was like, I'm DJing, this is my opportunity. And he was like taking control of the whole car. But yeah, no, I don't listen to that shit.
So I like what you said too. I think this is an important, like, this give you just look into my soul. It's like you look at, she was obviously familiar with AA and recovery. Mm-hmm. So what that looks like really is Bill, Bob, Ebby. There were 3 people. Because this is pertaining to the house and things. I think we never get to see all the people we help. It's none of our business, like anyways. But this is kind of what this looks like for me. Is if you put this into perspective, 3 people help 10 people. Bill, Bob, Ebby. 10 people helped 100. 100 people helped 1,000 more. 1,000 people helped 500,000, and 1 million people helped this guy by the name of Jimmy K. Jimmy K started Narcotics Anonymous. Mm-hmm. 1 person helped 5 people, 5 people helped 5,000 people. Somewhere down the line, they found me. My sponsor, Rob G, found me.
I love Rob G.
He's great. My sponsor's been more like a dad to me. More my own dad. My dad doesn't. He just doesn't. He's just not well, and it's what it is. It made me the man I am today. But I got Rob, and Rob's been like a dad to me. But he's helped. If we think about me, you, and Rob, if I've helped 2 people and then they've helped, if you help 3 or 4 women here, which I'm sure it's a lot, and then Rob's helped a gazillion people, then we're tapped in. Like we're in.
Yeah.
They could help. See people that help some people will live forever.
These girls have been so I'm gonna say it, resilient, not to sound corny,
No problem,
the show,
yeah.
but like they're resilient. These girls just have gone out and gone to meetings where they've seen someone struggling, and while they're struggling with their own shit, been like, hey, do you want to sit with me? Like, I'll help you. Like, let's go get coffee after, or you know what, I can help you find a sponsor, or do you need a bed? Like, we'll work on finding you a scholarship. We'll help you. Like, just how sometimes we can't help ourselves, we try to help others. Well, they're working on themselves and they're helping others, which is huge, because I always say to them, like, you don't know what someone else is going through, just like we don't know what you're going through unless you let us in.
Right.
And they just really go out of their way to kind of keep that in mind, that the next person might not have it as good as them, and try to help. And we kind of heard that last week with somebody that lives here, and they were like, I went to a meeting and I had heard that this person was giving away clothing donations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I know another resident didn't have any clothes, so I asked them, do you want them? I can help you. And I was like, that's nice, because it's not selfish, it's selflessness. They're being a selfless person, they're helping somebody. Mm-hmm. They're doing something maybe to not all benefit themselves, but to share. And that means a lot, because, even obviously, not to sound like, because I never want to speak on behalf of someone who's an addict, because I have never gone through that. But I will say I've heard that when my father has said it, well, I can be selfish, right? And that is sometimes an addict mentality. But mental health is also can be selfish, because I know sometimes I'm a selfish little brat, and I'm like, mine, 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 mine. Yeah. You don't mean to, but it's the way it is, right? Yeah. And they could totally be like, well, I don't want to share my resource, it's less clothes for me. Right. Help 3 girls in this house, which was huge, because some of the girls came in with absolutely nothing. Yeah. So that was like a huge kind of like pat yourself on the back type of moment, like, I'm proud of you. You didn't have to do that, and you did. Yeah, absolutely. So teaching them to do the next right thing, especially when no one's looking, mm-hmm. because it wasn't on camera. It wasn't like it was a little TikTok or reel or anything. It was like behind the scenes, and I didn't even know what was happening until I got the call from the guy saying, hey, I'm at your back door with clothes. And I was like, who the hell are you? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, by example, you do it too. That's the only way to do it. Words are meaningless. Yeah. But also too, it's a weird paradox. Like, you got none. You got words and no action. You got none for me. But also, two words have the power to kill or give life, because my father. So somebody that was important to me when I was young said to me, well, I had asked him, I said, do you love me, Dad? And he said, no, get the fuck away from me. And I've been making don't feel bad. I've been making everyone pay the price ever since. He really said that to you? Yeah. Yep. But also, too, like I had a lot of good men in it. It's just it's his stuff, but it killed something in me. But it also lit up something that was already inside me. Like, I ain't making excuses for that. Like, I ain't crying about that. It's something that was already there. I've done some work on that. But if you ever want your grandmother, you have a grandmother? Passed away. Passed? Okay. You were close to her. I took care of her. My mother's mother. Yeah. So the closest thing to God you're gonna get is go hug your mom, or go hug your mom or your grandmom or a little baby, because that's unconditional love, and that's the closest to God you'll ever get. And those words have the power to, how you can't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing wrong with my grandmother's not lit me up, and I had that, but words, but also too, if you got words, and that's all they are to me. But my mom and I are super close, so especially when I'm going through something, or something that I think is gonna like put me down in the dumps, like, there's nothing like your mother, like that. It's your go-to person, right? And as much as like we have different personalities and we have different point of views on things, that will always be my person that I run to, no matter what. I'm close to my dad, but that's my dad. My mother's my person. So, like, that's my unconditional bond. That's my person. Yeah, that's as closest to God you're going to get, besides a baby. Go hug that baby. It's like, man, the universe is in that angel's eyes. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of unconditional love there. But that's the deal. The paradox of life is words have the power to kill. Too. But, yeah. And also, I mean,
I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot, but I think. So I don't want to dominate the conversation.
No, I this is different because like normally I'm the one asking the questions and then I run out of questions sometimes and I'm like, shit, I don't want to like dig too deep and make them uncomfortable. But how long have you been in recovery?
So I've been in recovery. This is so I got sober in the military, in the Marines.
Awesome.
Some stuff went down, some stuff went kinetic. I see. So and can I? Is it okay if I just be a little deep here?
Sure.
So in the Middle East, they handle drug addiction, alcoholism, and mental health a little differently. There's no power recovery down there. There's no Rockland recovery. There's no Davis detox, and those are all good places. I love those places, but you can't be open to be LGBTQT, which I love. That's so many people that I love, and it's so brave of them because even if you think early on in AA, what was it like to be the first LGBTQT or first like
people didn't feel welcomed at first.
Yeah, first young person in recovery. What was that like? Like so, you got to be pretty brave. But in essence, there was something that I would just say this. Not me. I ain't not me. But I for 25 minutes of rage, I spent some time in the brig, and that happened, but there were battles of such where I would say this Marines, not on some Marines watch. Some Marines weren't taking that; they weren't having that, and there was a lot of there was a lot of stuff that went down. But I in that brig, I was hurt. So sometimes they say I was using in the military. They think I'm in the fucking poppy field shooting pure heroin, and it's raining oil. I'm like, no, my body was made, but my lungs collapsed. I needed morphine, more morphine. I'm Marine. I love being a Marine. I never cry about that. I love that. Even Marines that pass, like I don't know, Purple Heart recipients, Chris Lapka, Purple Heart recipient, Rafael Peralta jumped on a grenade. He's got a battleship that he was named after, got resurrected into a destroyer. And but these are the Marines I walked with. But they fought hard. And I wanted this. I did my very best to stay there physically. Did a lot of morphine, a lot of perks. Then you're in flight a fight for 2 weeks, so I did a lot of Xanax. Like, damn, calm me the hell down, man. I can't get baseline, but did a lot of Xanax. And when I got pulled out. There was a lot of medications in the brig. It was nuts at that time. Navy SEALs, like that's Operation Phantom Fury. It was kinetic. Like there was people coming in the brig that like they didn't like they I know there's prison gangs and I ain't knocking that. That's not I'm not trying to trump anyone. I'm just saying trained to do Marine stuff and veteran stuff, all day long. So in that brig, there was Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, regular enlisted. It was just wild at that time. We had a lot of medication. I'd overdosed on medication. So if you're familiar with like first step powerless and unmanageable, hey, when you're in the brig and Marines can't even stop you from getting high and overdosing, a little powerless, a little unmanageable.
Yeah.
But recovery had came in, and I was stationed where I did my court martial was in Kainui Bay, Hawaii. So I got court martialed in the Middle East, Japan, and then I got the final one was in my duty station in Kainui Bay, Hawaii. So that's where I got a little drop of recovery would change your whole life. And I got a little taste of it there. I've been chasing that ever since. My thing is, I said, God, if you let me out of this one, I'll serve you. Because it was a weird thing. It's like, how did I end up like the one person? How did I end up like my father? I resented him. He was in jail. He abandoned. How did this happen? I tried to justify that, but I said, God, if you get me out of this hole, it was a God-sized hole. It was a lot of uniform codes of military justice, a little different. It's a whole lot of years, but
How many years were you in the Marines for?
So 2001 to 05.
Okay.
And then sort of I don't know.
And then in 05 is when you got clean?
Yeah, 05. That was the first time. So we got clean in Hawaii at a place, a meeting called Bad Brains. When I came home, see, your leaderless and scattered now, like all the Marines, like, and then how do you explain to some people, like, oh, I feel, like, yo, don't feel sorry for me. I love being a Marine. Like, you can't, how do you say, sound like a sociopath. No, I love that. You got a Marine, I love that for you. Fucking love that for you. We love being a Marine.
No, you're proud of serving your country.
Yeah, I love that flag. I ain't never catch me. The government, another little bit different, but you know what? I see a whole lot of good men do a whole lot of bad things that, bad men did bad things to good women and children,
Mm.
and good men did bad things to bad men that did bad things to good women and children. I'm fucking proud of that. I'm proud of that. Not on some Marines watch, But yeah, sorry, I went off the reservation there.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but
But
recovered.
that's where it started for you.
Yep, in the break, and it's interesting because what I've seen is the big. This is like the biggest, like I guess like the aha moment because I'm like, man, I watched this thing go down where it was like, hey man, I ran out of an enemy to fight, and then we got to the brig, we fought each other, we tried to kill each other, and then when I was in the hole, I had to go inside. So what happened? We ran out of an enemy to fight. We fought each other, and then I had nowhere else to go. I had to go inside it. I fought myself. But what I realized, the hole isn't the hole for me. Isn't the hole because it's small confinement? No, I don't believe that. I was good there. I like it there. You get to reflect, sleep, draw, read. I fucking like it there. I like it. Not a lot of people don't. It didn't break me, and it did. I spent a lot of time in the hole. But initially, it was just a whole lot of me is why I think they call it, but they call it the hole for me. It's just a whole lot of me, no way to run, no one to blame, just me. And then once you can get through that, which AA and NA, they were the only people knocking down that jail cell door to help. And then Christians too. But that was the only way out of the hole though. So initially I'm like, yeah, well, first of all, I was like, hey, I'm busy. They were like, hey, you want to go to AA? I'm like, I don't got a drug problem. I just take my medications and overdose. I'm good. Happens all the time. And then eventually I'm like, God damn, I'm lonely in here. And that's the only thing. To be honest, this is going to sound crazy, but I would have stayed there if the issue was there was no women. If there was women that were there, it was just a bunch of men. And I don't have, I'm like, this gets boring. How many games of spades can you play? How many, but if there was like pizza and women, I would have stayed. But it's a skid bit too. Don't let me put anybody down. Probably being facetious. I got uncles doing life in prison. My uncle's trying to get out right now. But yeah, they came in and man, I'm super grateful. I owe this program in recovery and God a debt. I owe a great debt that I'll never be able to pay back, and that's why I go real hard. But anyways, yes, that's in Hawaii, and then I got out of there. I got the coolest message out there. If I could share that, it was the coolest message, man. So I'm from Chelsea. We don't surf, so I get them on board. So with like the bad brains, they do. So you know how you go out in the group and you network, and you fellowship, and then so they fellowship in the ocean and surf.
So they go surfing.
They go surfing.
Did you go surfing?
Like, yes. Yeah, I went surfing. I don't know how to surf, so I like skid Waikiki over to the bunny slopes, and so the waves were coming, they were kicking my ass, and I'm like, I don't know how they do this, but this young Hawaiian kid, cool as fuck. I had this little boy, it was like a saucer, like he was on a plate. He comes over, he's doing some cool stuff, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And
I never knew this about Hawaii, that they fellowship through surfing.
Yeah, it's huge. And then they go out, they get real spiritual, hold hands out there. We all pray together out there. We worship the land, the water, the land, too. So this young guy comes over, man. He comes over. This is the greatest message I feel like I've ever got. He goes, hey, what are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I go, the waves are kicking my ass. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, and they're going to keep coming. I go, what should I do? He goes, you better learn how to surf. I've been telling everybody that, hey, the waves are going to keep coming. It's the most powerful message I've ever gotten.
Yeah, it is.
The waves are going to keep coming, man. Learn how to surf. Been trying to surf ever since, but yeah, cool story, I guess.
It's kind of a real life situation, though. The waves are going to keep coming.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what.
It's really cool.
I don't think, even on that set one time, I'm like, man, get out to the set. So I listen to him, I just go through the channels and I'm out there and I'm like, this is how powerful the disease is I'm out there on the set and I'm out there like wow, like, you get in, like, there's medicine in the movement, Marissa. There's medicine in more when you're moving. I'm out there and I'm like, the sun's on me. There's like half naked women. They're in bikinis. They're all fit. There's half naked men for you. Picture half naked men. And I'm sitting there. And there's like giant sea turtles and dolphins flying everywhere and just a whole lot of beauty. And I said, damn, you know what? I lived in this island for 4 years. I never noticed
any of those.
Surfboard, no, one dolphin, and I'm like crying, like the veil had been lifted, and I seen it, and I'm like so grateful. I'm like crying. I've cried because I've been angry, like I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I've been like that, like I'm so angry when I cry, but I've never been like, oh my God, I see it, like I see it.
that was your moment.
That was a moment. It was so I would always say this, Marissa. I've had like a spiritual awakening. I've had many ones on the way to the. It never just popped. Really, it was like a series. Like a wow. Oh my God. Like thank you. It's always been like a series of miniature spiritual awakenings.
That was the big spiritual awakening.
The bigger pops. Well, it was the kid. I had to get out there, and everybody walked me home to that point. Right. So, in the truth will get you high. The truth is a mind and mood altering substance. The truth will get you high. And I was honest out there, like, no, things are beautiful. I thought you look with these certain set of eyes, like, damn, the world's fucked up. The kids are suffering. It's like, yeah, that's true, but guess what? There's a lot of beauty. Like, hurt people, check. I know more than most, you know more than most, but don't ever dismiss this. Heal people. I got a whole lot of healing in the moment. A whole lot of healing, and then like I said, God, I got us. But I had some time put together 15 years. I dedicated my life to working in, an amends through the men's process through Marines. That was tough. People kind of give me. I never got a pat on the ass. Amends. My brothers were like, "Yeah, you were supposed to be here, dog. Like, what? We worried about you. We were worried. We're in the Middle East, getting busy, and you're over here, 3 hearts in a cot, overdosing." They weren't mad that happened, but they were just like, "Oh, still selfish. All about you, Evans, huh?" Yeah. So guess what? Get this. What? So here's what we pat you on the ass. You go help veterans. You go help people with mental health, and we want to check in, and they do. They check in like, hey, what's going on with those little wolf cubs? I'm like, I got them, leader. But so I moved to California. I got educated. I volunteered on Skid Row. I moved up. I got some credentials. Because look, there's this other thing that happened where I'm like really advocating for this gang member, and for profit can be a little bit challenging, I'll say. But they're trying to kick him out. For the behavior, what's he doing? Misbehaving? I'm like, yeah, he's supposed to. He's supposed to get his needs met. And then they're like, yeah, I'm like, hey, this is so nuts to me because that's like going to you kick them off for misbehaving. Like, this is my favorite. You ever get a favorite? This is my favorite. So there's a guy. This is my favorite, man.
As much as I say you're not supposed to, like,
no,
we kind. It happens. It's like human nature.
Allegedly was somebody I liked. A little bit more. No, but he was my favorite. I don't even care.
I think we all have favorite clients.
Mercy, you know what I realized? Because did your mom ever, you have siblings, right?
Well, I have a sister that's not in my life.
Okay.
So she was like, that was the 2 episodes ago we talked about.
Right.
She was born before I was. We connected in Square One Mall. Had a couple hit and miss connections, and then it was just, she just took off. So
you know what my mother would say? Hey, you're all my favorite in different ways. And I know what she means. Because I would be like, Ma, you know I'm your favorite. She'd be like, no.
My grandmother used to say that.
Yeah, you're my favorite.
She had 5 kids.
And that's what I think this is about, or you, because I could say, hey, the ones that give me the most trouble, I'm like, I'll just low key, like the people that I'm grateful for, the people who help and support, but it's the harder because I'm like, you are, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you, I was you, but so much.
We're challenging, so the challenging people that we deal with sometimes become our favorites.
Yes. And you gotta bring it up and challenge them. You gotta grow them, too. Yep. But what happened was with this guy is that they're trying to kick him out. Like, his behavior, he's here for he's just treatment, right? Wait, let me. So what happened was, I'm like, man, I'm in their clinical meeting. I'm a case manager at that time, which doesn't barrier to entrance to case management isn't much. I don't know much. I just know how to be a Marine.
Right.
Not really. In the for-profit world, machine guns have no place. So I'm trying to, navigate this, but they're kicking them off. I'm like, yeah, this don't make any sense. That'd be like, if you go to the emergency room for pneumonia, the infection is what you're going there. So you imagine you go to the emergency room for pneumonia and you cough loud, the doctor comes out. That's the symptom. And that's the symptoms of the behavior. Imagine the doctor's like, hey, get out of the emergency room, you're coughing too loud. No, you're there to treat the infection, which is the pneumonia. So it would be, and then I'm like, no, never again. So I never again will I not have a voice because there's nothing I could do. I felt so powerful. Like, never again. I've dedicated myself to school. And I don't usually say this. I'll say, I got a KDAC, I got a late, I got a car, I can work in the car. Who gives a shit? I'm a good human being. I fight. I fight for my fucking wolf pack. All wolf cubs matter. But I won't sit at any clinical table ever again and not have a voice. And especially this, if you have to say, if I never bring that up, but the second you go, if you try to out Trump, and you can't, there's one level higher thinking LI, would trump me. But as soon as you bring that up, you lost this argument over here. You bring in your letters, and we'll be like, hey, you got letters? You got letters for me?
Cool.
You got letters and words, do you? Mazel tov. So, but never again. So I could sit at any clinical element and have a voice and advocate, for my people.
It shouldn't matter what letters you have next to your name.
Yeah. Just be a good human.
Just be a good human.
Yeah. That's the greatest. Look, the greatest thing, because I care what people say. If you don't like, I don't care, but I do care what you say about me. And the greatest praise I have is when the wolf pack says I'm good. You say I'm good. I'm good. If my mother says, look, don't even believe. This is to anybody. Don't even believe anything I'm saying right now. Ask my sponsor. Ask my sponsor who I am. Ask my people who I am.
That's right.
You know? Right? Ask the wolf cubs that follow me. They follow me, and I would too.
I say the same thing: is don't ask people out in the general public who I am, because they're gonna give you 12 different versions of what they heard. Yeah. Ask the people that know me, and you're gonna get a real authentic answer.
Yeah, Marissa. Plus, I'm the hero in all my stories anyway. That makes me sound like a fucking superhero and shit. So I'm the hero in all my stories. Don't ask Rob G, because he's never lied. He never stared me wrong.
Maybe we'll get Rob G on here soon.
Yeah, you should. I know. I mean, I'm trying to
get Rob, call me.
Yeah. I know I took up too much time. So
no, you didn't. I wanted to ask you a question, but my ADHD went off into another direction. But maybe you'll come back to me soon. Okay. I just start talking about something and then it's like gone.
Yeah, just totally gone.
It's life.
Yeah. I love that about me. Like, you gotta love your story. Like, I love your story. Oh wait,
I got it. Good. It came back. So you have your LADAC. You have your KDAC.
KDAC hours, yeah. KDAC 6 hours, LADAC, yeah.
Okay. And what was the other one?
My CARC, which is a recovery coach supervisor, recovery coach.
So I took the recovery coaching course through North Shore Community College. That was kind of like my foot in the door to now I'm taking the drug and alcohol course with North Shore Community so that I can get my hours and then go get my LADAC too. Ooh, so I can work under somebody. I don't want to work for myself. I want to work under somebody because I do well with supervision. Yeah. So that's kind of my big thing is I'm not about school, as we've talked about. I am not, by no means, I do not like school. Yeah. But this is something I'm passionate about and I want to turn my passion into my career, right? Do you feel working in this industry, having recovery coaches with lived experience, but not lived through actually addiction is beneficial? Because I've been told I have absolutely no business being a recovery coach.
Yes, again, it's tight. It's like.
But what's your belief?
My belief is not. They don't have no room here for that. How dare anybody diminish your experience with your dad and your trauma? Well, that's not enough trauma. Hey, we're fixing we're fixing trauma with more trauma. Real cool story, guys. Let's fucking put that. Don't bring that shit around here. It does have a experience. Sure, and I get that, but don't be. I think there should be a. Man, it's so tough to say. It's like, how do we?
Because I don't do much with it. Like, I took the course, I have the certificates. I didn't go through the state and do like my hours that way. Kind of just stopped and left it there. And I feel like with running a home, you're kind of coaching people anyway. Yeah. If you're advocating for them and you're kind of giving them advice and stuff, but I don't do anything per se with the recovery coaching CCAR certificate. Like, it just sits there.
Yeah, that's what I would say. For me, it's important to go, hey, look, this was important enough to do that, but guess what? Yeah, and I want the information, but guess what? Some people have that card and they just have knowledge. Knowledge isn't necessarily power. Knowledge applied is power. So you can have all the knowledge in the world to be a terrible human being. Yeah. But guess what? We're recovery coaching right now. They're like, Richie, I'm like, I'm not what is this? A digital create? What is this? A digital creator? Everyone's co-creating. We're co-creating right now. Yeah. They're walking down the street co-creating. What the fuck are we talking about here? More labels to divide us. You're not like us. You don't have that. And I'll never drop. Look, if you're willing to get shoulder to shoulder with me, you are me. How dare we? This is the recovery coach principles too, and I applied this on your notes. I'm not knocking that. Yeah, I get it. But you ain't telling me what to say. No one tells me what to say. Look, we're creating more division. This is the recovery coach principle. Meet people where they're at and all that stuff. So why are we doing that with people who are not afflicted? They lack one thing. So you could do a million good things, but you don't got that one thing. That's fucking, how dare you fucking make people feel like that? Yeah. Also, too, I get it from recovery coach supervision. Like, I get that. I'm just saying, you're asking my personal voice. Yeah, it's just a fucking, for me, oh, you got a certificate for me? Cool. I'm really living this in my life. And I do that. I'm running the risk. I don't care what you say. It's just this fucking, that's how I feel. about it. Oh, I'm not like you, because then I got that. I got it, bro. I got the hours. I've been in it. But guess what? You have a lifetime of experience, Marissa. A lifetime of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna downplay that and
Yeah.
kick you out of the fucking club. Kick out, and you got
We got a whole trying to kick Marissa out of the club game going on, but you know what? I just keep going. Like, I don't stop. I don't stop. I will continue to do what I gotta do to help these women, to help men that I've helped, to help family members. I have a cousin that I'm trying to talk some sense into that someday maybe it will just click and, he'll get the help he needs. But I, it's like my favorite word, by the way. I notice I say that in every single episode. I try to do what I can, and I'm never gonna be stopped.
Yeah.
So I love that because you can hand somebody a certificate, you can give them hours, but that experience doesn't get cut off at those hours. It keeps going.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up my own fucking one. How about that? And then what are you gonna do? Like, I wouldn't waste my time, because if you're good, you're good, and if you're not, you're not, and that's fine. I'm gonna say, hey, you get another job. I'm gonna do two things. I'm so on, get another job. Like, go, you ain't. It's gonna be real simple. I ain't signing on. Or you do got this, or you don't. It's not, because then you don't, like, again, you can have all the credentials and still be a dickhead.
Yeah.
So what's that mean, right? So guess what? All us three will start our own. And we won't kick anybody out of the fucking club. How about that?
I like that.
I'll make sure. That's what they did.
It's supposed to be an inclusive community.
Yeah. And keep in mind, even though that's not clinical, because they can't fuck with my scholarship, right? Active listening is a clinical modality, and so isn't motivational interest. Those are clinical modalities. Yep. So then now that's a recovery coach. Like, what's important is recovery coaching is not clinical. I'm just saying, then I can let's make up a thing. How about recovery mental health fucking expert?
Sure.
Superhero. How about a recovery superhero? You want to become a recovery coach superhero? I'm going to make the curriculum and come be a recovery coach fucking superhero.
We'll hand out gold stars.
Yeah, we ain't going to give certificates. We're going to give, what are we going to give? Probably give a wolf, give him a wolf tattoo. So you can be in our club, our team. Yeah. But I don't know. But yeah, that's just, I'm crazy also, so don't pay attention to me.
What are you doing nowadays?
So, man, a lot. So I work at Rockland Recovery, which is fucking...
Love Rockland. One of the greatest establishments.
So I was just, tell you a couple of quick... You should come down there. Oh, we had talked about that. Come down, check that out. We'll get you all. I mean, I got it like Pug, like Savini. There's a great team. All the clinicians. Look, You guys
got a good team down there.
Yeah, there's nothing on that clinical floor is impressive, man. I mean, I've been on some clinical floors. I got 20 years of experience, a lifetime of experience, but I got 20 years of experience in a clinical element from California to here. Mm-hmm. So I've been, but they have their clinicians on they're superheroes. They're the real superheroes. I just come to me. I'm kind of just a hybrid there, but
what is your role there?
My role there is I don't want to.
You do everything.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's good though.
There's nothing I won't do for Eddie. I'll bury a dead body.
Eddie is awesome, and Eddie's done a lot through the nonprofit that we have to support us. He's done a lot of just being a genuine person and supporting me and my journey through this over the last couple of years. He really is a good person.
So Eddie, I'm not gonna say, because he's done a lot of things and I've seen him do a lot of things. He's very altruistic. He's a good general. I'm a field general. He knows I'm a field general. But he when I was down bad and I wasn't taking my mental health very seriously, but I think because I was hurt, I wanted to push everyone away. Yeah. But what happened is he's the only one. There's a few people that called me, like Maddie. I was called I grew up with Maddie. Like, there's a few people that called me, but he called me like, Rich, I just found out. What can I do? I'm like, brother, I just wanted to know you cared. You ain't stopping. And that thing was on. I woke up on the lot and my spinal cord got set. Lost someone I love, lost a whole lot of things, but somebody I love deeply, my dogs, my son, and then somebody that I still love very, very, very deeply. My soulmate, pushed her away. Anything you put before your mental health, kiss that shit the fuck goodbye.
Yeah, that's true.
And then also, be careful who you push away. They just might go. But Eddie's the only one who's like, hey, Rich, what can I do? And trust me, he would have came down there, but you weren't stopping this train. I only wanted to know.
He's genuine.
Who cares?
He's very genuine.
Yeah, I had Marines that had me. They were going to come up and I was on my way to Arizona. I got them. You ain't stopping this train right here. I just wanted to know. I was taking count. Who cared? You only love the wolf when the enemy's at the gate. Mm-hmm. And I found that out. That was you only love the wolf when the enemy, when I couldn't do nothing for you, Nobody called. It shit broke my fucking heart. Like, you ain't got nothing for me? Not really. Eddie did. Eddie's like, I'll come down right now. I just heard. More important, when I got when I was cake, he came down and like we're talking about it. I was supposed to work there prior to that. And it was supposed to when that shit went south. Eddie had called like, hey, come work here. I know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to go there. And like, I'm causing more damage, Marissa, than good if I ain't taking care of myself.
Right.
And I didn't even have a voice. I couldn't even tell people. No one really knew. Like, if you, like, look, and this is one of the biggest messages I have, and the price of not having a voice is your fucking life.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't heal what you can't talk about either. So as a man, a Marine, I can't go. But Eddie was like, I don't care. Look, fuck, I'll come down right now. I'm like, no, man, I'm good. You ain't stopping this train. I planned on pressing the restop on. Hold until God's like, no, you got a different plan. God said, literally, it wasn't a word, but God said, hey, if you ain't going to die, you better learn how to live again. You said you'd serve me. You said you served, so you're going to.
Yeah.
But, when I got back from Arizona, waiting to see, all right, who's coming to get the wolf? And Eddie was the only one. He came down and had breakfast. I'm like, when do I start? The next day. I've been riding for Eddie ever since. I work there, work for, I advocate, I consult for some nonprofits because look, if you got, like, again, and if you got shiny things and shiny people, but you got no love in your heart for my people, that's fucking nothing for me. Money don't fuel me. Money don't fuel me, man. Like, cool story. You got fucking, you got, because look, that money follows me. I don't chase, money don't have me. I have money, don't
You can have a Rolex, a Rolls Royce, Range Rover, a big house on the hill, and still be a horrible person.
Yeah, I know people, because look, we got friends, right? Mm-hmm. You go, damn, you got all that. You got generational wealth, and you still don't look like you scored a fucking touchdown, bro. You want to smile? Got generational wealth. Keep in mind, I understand. Stand up, but also, too, I got the highest praise. I got rid of the medals during wartime. Mm-hmm. Fucking don't. You ain't out fucking anything. Marine says I'm a good Marine, so you'll never out, like, fucking. But
that's top tier. If they're telling you you're good, you're good.
The highest praise I'm in. Look, I know what I'm made out of underneath the big lights of life. You want to talk about, and look, I don't mean it this way. That's hyper masculinity. All the way down, I go, all right, look, Marines, and then I go, all right, well, what did you do? All right, well, I'm forced to look at that as a man. Like, all right, well, hey, man, you know what real love is? Because I look at that. Do you really know what real love is? Mm-hmm. Real love is I'm willing to die for you right now. And people get a little like, hey, well, no, look, this is what that means. There's no greater love than to lay down your life, to be willing to kill or die for someone you love. Well, let's take the kill out. Let's say love, to be willing to lay down your life for the people you love. That could be metaphorically, which put the meth down. Mm-hmm. Crumbs in a bag made a bitch out of me. Also, make no mistake about this. Fentanyl comes in a bag. These little pills made a fucking bitch out of me. Dragged me in the middle of the street and made an example out of me. Crumbs in a bag did that to me. So I'm not on my high horse here. I'm just saying, man, you could have all that and still not look like you scored a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Damn, you keep that. Put all that shit in a syringe, by the way. I put my house in a syringe. I put my fucking, my bank account in the syringe, cars in that syringe. Put my son in that syringe. Put ribbons and medals in that syringe. Kiss that shit goodbye. Put my family in the syringe is the worst one. Fuck. So that all goes into the syringe. But
you're getting it all back, though.
All fine. You're getting it all back and then some. And then get the
The fight never stops.
Never. It's always, look, every day. And look, I love that. I love that about me. I fight, you fight. Sometimes it's breath to breath, moment to moment. Sometimes, and then when I don't know what to do, guess what? I fucking fight. And it's better than you could lay down and die. You could do that, but you know what happens? You lay down and die, here's what happens. And I've done this a million times. You get hungry. You're like, fuck, I'm going to have to lay down and die, but I'm fucking hungry now. And then I just lay down and die. No, I get hungry. And then Facebook goes off. And then somebody calls. And I'm like, fuck it. You know what it takes to just, how many times I'll lay down and just die? I'm like, fucking try. I tried. But so if that didn't happen, then I might as well fucking be. I'm an Aries anyways.
I'm an Aries too.
Yeah, we fight.
What's your birthday?
On April 1st at 11:30.
Oh, well, I don't know the time I was born, but I'm March 26th.
That's on.
It's on. Yeah. March 26th and April 1st. That's why we get along.
Yeah, we fight. That's the thing. I love it. I love that about me. I love that I fight, But I'm an Aries. I'm supposed to do that.
that's part of our nature. Like that's who we are.
I don't even feel good if I ain't fighting for something. I'm just like, that's why I'm so happy. Like, so that's what happened. I've been, look, sometimes you got to take a round off and lick your wounds, but there's still a fight to be had. I took a round off. I'll lick my wounds. I ain't crying about none of that shit. I'm fighting. I'll get the things. I'll get the things. I learned the valuable lesson. All those things went in a syringe. So I'll get my son back. That's happening. I ain't my, I'm grateful that some stuff happened with my father because it made me a fighter. But also too, this thing that just happened made me have some empathy towards him. Like, oh, you went through that,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry for presenting you. Plus, guess what? Whoever you know, why we pray for our enemies?
Why?
Because you become just like them.
Yeah.
If you don't.
And we don't want to be like that.
Just like my father. Maybe not in that exact way, but I became like him. In that way, and I made, and then look, like I could say this too. It's like, oh man, I use that as a fucking excuse. Any healthy, normal person, not normal people, whatever that means, but no, I'm not gonna be like that. And don't. I joined in. I'm worse. What happened to my father just happened with me and my son and my mother in court.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sicker in essence. How dare I judge him? How fucking dare I judge?
Do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, let's see. I had a couple, but
Get them all out.
What's your favorite color?
Pink.
Pink? You know what? I like black though.
Well, I'm always wearing black.
Yeah.
That's like I look like I'm going to a funeral all the time. I'm always in black. But pink is my favorite color. Everything I have, phone case, everything's pink. I just don't really wear it often. That's
that old school. I'll tell you that I've learned this is like the light has many colors, but darkness has one. You're not dark. So neutral, black's really neutral. They make all the colors. And then if you look at from the Bible's perspective, God said, and let there be light. So what was that before? The original color, which is black. But darkness, I don't mean darkness. Color. I mean, it varies. Today was red. I'm on fire today.
I like red.
So yeah, I like red, but I like black also. But I like the old school Italian, like the old school Italian ladies and kind of men. I miss those days when you would just dress up like you were fucking. You're just like in the shoes.
Like get dressed up to go somewhere?
Yeah, to go to the corner store and get bread.
I mean, I used to wear a fur coat to go to CVS. Like, let's be for real here. I'd roll up to CVS on Saratoga Street wearing a full-length mink, being like, here I am, because it's cold out. Yeah. But I don't do that no more. I'm a little more reserved nowadays. Yeah, I've
been more on some purple stuff. It depends. Every day, I got some bright things. So if I'm feeling like, it depends. I could go really dark. I could get... It all depends on my spirit. But just because I wear black don't mean I'm in a bad mood. Sometimes, I wish a motherfucker would. Sometimes it means that. But sometimes, I don't know. Also, sometimes I'm fucking crazy, so...
We all are.
Yeah. What's your future like as far as family? Well, do you have one? Like as far as like marriage?
Oh, I don't know. Tim, don't laugh. This is to be like determined. I don't know. When I can find someone that can put up with me and all the baggage I come with, and can like deal with my life and my past trauma and my current situation, then then they're good to go. And if they can't deal with that, then I like working on myself. I've been in several relationships in the 27 years that I've been alive. Obviously, from like 18 up. Obviously, they get seriouser as they go along. But I haven't found Mr. Right, Mr. Prince Charming, I'm going to say worthy of me yet. Met some great guys, met some horrible guys. Yeah. Some that have broke me. But with all that aside, if I want to get to where I want to be, I have to do it with or without somebody. That's not going to dictate what I do in life in terms of goals, right? Yeah. Someone holding my hand alongside with me is not going to get me to where I want to be. I'm going to get me to where I want to be. Yeah. So if I want to get my degree, I'm doing that. If I want to open up another type of business, I'm doing that. I opened this business with no one holding my hand. Yeah. No one's holding my ass. You know what I mean? Like they're like, not like, oh, giving me the push. I'm giving me the push. So I don't know. I mean, definitely want a normal family, like kids, house, like stuff like that. But in God's hands.
That's real self-love, by the way. Like, hey, I don't need you. And that's how a union should be. Like, for me, when you're trying to start an empire, don't waste my time. I could have sex with myself. I don't need waste. You know what I mean? I don't mean that to be about, it's like, I don't want to, I'm not wasting time. We don't want to. Well, I want one more shot at the apple, man.
Right.
I've taken life for granted, man. I ain't trying to do that no more. But
with or without you, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the attitude that I have, because I've had so many people walk into my life, kind of get to look into my life, and then be like, "Yeah, nah, I'm all set." And a lot of times, like, people sway people out of my life too, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I didn't need you in the first place. I'm still standing. Nothing's taking me down, and I'm gonna get it done with you or without you.
You know why? I could tell you why. And I don't know everything. It's because of our society is like kind of like you take care of me now, but you're intimidating to be honest. Not to me, but you're intimidating. You know why? Because you're like, hey, I don't need you. If this is self love,
I've been told this several times.
Yeah. And it's not intimidating. It's more, but it's like, yeah, you could be to a man that's a little bit more, fragile.
Handsy-ish.
Yeah, you're a little bit, you're not, yeah. But I don't want to. But I'll say you could be allegedly intimidating, and then if you ain't a fucking man, you're gonna be like, hey, I would be like, look at you go. But also I'm taking care of myself too. But anyone that's like why would that ever be intimidating? But right,
strong people intimidate weak people,
yeah,
very much so, and then they'll flip the script and be like, well, like just their aura or their energy, like, yeah. I can't, and they'll try to be like, oh, they'll knock them for whatever fake reason it is. Deep down, it's because they can't compete with the energy we have. Yeah. Like they can't get on our level to get to where we are energetic wise. It's just not going to happen.
Now, don't get me wrong. I could be like I need to be needed too, but that's not.
Yeah, no. Like we're strong people, regardless of who's with us and what pack we have standing behind us or what support we have. Look at the shit we pull ourselves out of.
Yeah, man. That's the whole thing. Like you survived that. Like I'm on fucking break. That's the whole thing. Like I'm unbreakable. You didn't break me, President. The little thing I had in the middle that didn't break me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got to come from a whole line of warriors. My uncle's getting out of prison 30 years, fighting for his life. Got another uncle. I don't want to tell too much of that bit, but I come from warriors. Like how fucking dare I? I come from a whole society. I come from a patriarchal society, violence and aggression. Well, but look, women are way more powerful. You're way more powerful than me. You know why? Your intuition.
I call shit before it happens.
Yeah, I don't got that. I'm visceral. I'm like, you're more like,
I've been told by a psychic that I have some sort of like, I call it out before it happens ability. Yes. And I was like, don't say that shit to me. And she was like, no, you have that ability. Like, you've called shit before it happens. And it's a little scary, but you know what? That's like that third eye awakening that we see things before it happens. And I feel like women do have that notion more than men, but there are some men that have it too.
Yeah. So women are the jewel of creation too. So a lot of men, if they don't understand or like, because I don't want to sound like I'm being a fucking social justice. Like I hate to sound, but this is the truth. The truth is unfuckable. So like the only avenue through this planet into this universe is through a woman. Mm-hmm. You have the power of life and death in your hands. At any point in time, my mother could have hurt me, but she held me underneath her heart. And she took care of me. She loved me until I could love myself. Mm-hmm. That's my first through. You want to talk about what's this? The opposite of addiction is connection. Mm-hmm. My mom died. That connection was lost. It fucking rocked me. How about that for a connection? You have something inside you called colostrum fluid. That's equivalent to what the baby's IQs are going to be. Mm-hmm. Know what happens. When I'm out in the world, I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm Richie Evans from fucking Chelsea, I'm a Marine. When I come home to my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, baby, you don't know these crazy wolf cubs. Ma, rub my back. I'm a whole different energy. But look, I could be a man, but I'm more like my feminine side. My feminine side comes out. I have a totally different voice around a woman. Like, hey, hon, how are you doing? You look beautiful today. Brown eyes, love your hair. Around men, I'm like, what the fuck you looking at? Looking at me way too long. I owe you money. But, so we have a different, and it's all very important. But women are way more powerful than men.
Yeah, that's true, though.
And they're like, especially if I could get their wall down, now we could talk about some real stuff. And usually it's like, because their fathers weren't. This is generational trauma going on here. It's like their fathers weren't around. Their mothers worked 2 jobs. They're gang members. Why did they become gang members? What's the importance of the pack? First of all, the wolf is nothing without the pack. The pack is nothing without the wolf. But they want a pack to belong to. You know what's the same between me, you, gang members in California, upper socioeconomically, lower middle class? We're all looking for the same thing. We're all looking for love. give them some love, belong to the pack. I will come. Well, yeah, what's going on with your girl? I asked the question. I don't got. So then it's like, well,
But what else are you doing to make this relationship work? Like,
yeah, what's her favorite movie? You taking her out to eat? What's her favorite? You don't know any of those things. Anyone can have sex, but you want to tap. You want to tap into love. Like you could tap into a woman emotionally. She'll run through a fucking brick wall for you. You want to tap into that. So the only way to that is through the mind. So if you ain't, this sounding so ridiculous right now. But if you can't fuck the mind, if you can't make love to the mind, don't worry about it. Don't just jerk off. So because there's nothing else happening. You ain't going any further. You ain't leveling up. You want to
no, that connection's not there.
This is power. Like you ever see my mother fiercely protected me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's how mothers should.
Yeah, there's something in there. If you ever see a female like a National Geographic wolf, like those moms are fierce. How about a mama bear? How about a mama wolf? You go all the way. How about a mama? How about you go all the way down? You don't fuck with moms. There's something in there. But if you could tap into that as a man, that's what you're trying to tap into. You want to tap into like their emotions are powerful. That's the thing that's mystic. That's the thing that's not. See, you're feeling your way through life. Mm-hmm. I'm fighting my way through life. So I got to come home and just a real time example with my ex. She's like, yeah, I don't care. My buddy just got released. It was, actually, my cousin, but he's like, get released from prison. She's like, I know something's up. I'm like, my fucking family up. Hey, you don't know my family? She's like, yeah, something's gonna happen. I just feel like, and I'm like, no, babe, we're good. Trust me, it's family. He's been in prison. I know he's had a hard life. $10,000 later, she was right. I'm like, oh no, I should have fucking listened.
See, we call shit sometimes. It's just
yeah. That's what you want to tap into. It takes work. You gotta make love to the mind. That's the avenue. That's the only way here. So those little wolf cubs. It's like, hey, I don't. And again, I'm always like, hey, don't take advice from me. But if you don't even know her favorite movie, well, we watched Gladiator. Like
you're kind of screwed if you don't like that.
We watched the Spartans. We watched 300. It's like, well, what's her favorite book? What does she like to eat? Pizza. I like pizza. No, like, what the fuck does she like to eat? And start doing that if you want to go. What does she say? You ever sit down and list? Like, those are some of the things.
One final thing you want to say to the people before we wrap up?
I would say mental health. It's not your fault. It is our responsibility. Reach out. The price of not having a voice could be your life. And your love. The most important thing I said is your love. I care. You care. Reach out. You do have a voice, and I want to thank you guys for dealing with me in the past hour.
No, that flew by. This has been like one of the most interesting episodes we've had, so I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. My ego. I want to thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This wraps up episode 12. Bye.